Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the energies for March 2021 for life path number 6. This, of course, is a general reading. If you would like a personalized reading, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. So March is an 8 cycle. And so we may collectively see influences around business, power, responsibility, money and resources, as well as karma. So this cycle could very literally be this energy where it's like what you choose to sow is ultimately what you will reap. So be very mindful of where and what you choose to invest your time, your energy, and your resources into. Make sure that whatever you choose to move forward with or commit to feels somewhat aligned for you, like that you're not doing it simply out of obligation or the influence or manipulation from an outside source. Okay, this what you invest in at this time genuinely needs to be something that you feel called to invest in, okay? So this is a great time for business, for looking for work, obtaining work, getting promotions, starting new business ventures, so creating your own business or starting that process. This is just a great time for anything business related. 8 energy rules the material plane. So this can be a great time for recognition, validation, rewards, sales, as well as additional responsibility and pressure. So with sales, this can be a time where you may be looking to sell your house, sell some land, sell material goods, so a car or something like that. Or if you are quite literally in sales, you may see a spike in your sales this month. With responsibility and pressure, as we get these promotions, as we get recognition, what often happens is with that recognition, with those promotions, we often find that we have additional responsibility and much more pressure on ourselves, or at least we put more pressure on ourselves to perform and all those things. And so the key here is just make sure that you are equipped to be able to manage that additional responsibility and pressure. Make sure you have the tools in place. Make sure that you're continuing to work towards balancing your divine feminine and divine masculine energies. This can be a time of doors opening that you never thought would open. People in power may help you at this time if you ask. You may also be the one who's in power, who has an opportunity to help someone who comes to you. So if you have that opportunity, then this is a time for you to accept that responsibility graciously. If you believe in karma, this is a great time or a very significant time for karmic debts to come due or for them to be paid off. So you may see new relationships enter your life at this time where the two of you have had some kind of past karma that needs to be cleared in this lifetime. If a debt has been paid, so if a karmic debt has been paid, you may see at this time something materialize within the physical, such as an inheritance or a legacy of some sort that's showing you that this karmic debt has been paid. This can be a great cycle for reclaiming your own power from those who have taken your power in some way, or where you have given your power away to another or to something such as an addiction. So this is a wonderful cycle for reclaiming that which is energetically yours and releasing the stories which were never yours to begin with. So I pulled an animal spirit card to get an overall idea for the energy for this month for you all. And you got whale spirit, which is one of my favorite energies. And whale says, trust the great mystery. And really what that comes down to is you don't need to know everything. You don't need to know all of the details. You don't need to know, you can have the vision of where you're headed towards, but you don't need to be in control of every step of the way. And sometimes it's like when we leave things up to the great mystery, when we leave things up to the universe, as long as we put in our effort, we show up, we show the universe that this is what we want. We're willing to work for this. We're willing to invest our time and our energy into this. Then we're showing the universe that we're ready, that we want whatever this is. And then the universe can step in and do its part. And sometimes, well, I would argue to say all the time, the universe, our soul, our higher consciousness knows our greatest potential. And a lot of times we will limit ourselves. And so if we are left in control of each step, we're going to limit the outcome. So if we can trust in the great mystery, then we're saying to the universe, I trust you to bring me what I am worthy of, what I am capable of, and what I signed up for in this lifetime. Because again, we tend to think, because we have an ego, we tend to think much smaller than what we are truly capable of, what our true potential is. So I think that the call with Whale Spirit is really saying, if you get that idea, that vision, that inspiration, go for it. Put in the effort, show up. But also remember that you are in partnership with something much bigger, and allow that greatness to show you the way, to show you what it is and how much you're capable of. Okay. So, which is interesting because as we look at March, the very first week, I get that sense. It's like sort of like a brand new big opportunity coming in, or a new inspiration coming in, and this possibility that you may want to try to make yourself small, that it may feel bigger than what you think you're capable of. And so just be really aware of your mindset when this comes in for you, whatever this is. But it feels like leaving something behind that is complete or has reached its expiration date, and now thinking much bigger. So it's kind of like you started small, you accomplished that whatever that goal was, and now you're ready for something much bigger. So this could very well be like in the lines of, having worked at the same company for quite a while and the same job, and now you're recognizing that you're capable of more and you want more. And so you apply for that promotion. And in this 8 cycle, this can be a great opportunity for that. This can be a great energy for stepping up, leveling up, and sort of acquiring what it is that we desire by thinking bigger. So, and again, that's when we go back to that energy of saying, make sure that it feels aligned for you. So if you're just looking for the promotion strictly out of the desire for more money and more power, but the actual job does not speak to you, like there's no fulfillment there, then that's out of alignment. You're not doing it because it feels good for you. You're doing it for the external validation, the monetary reward, the prestige, which is fine, whatever. But there has to be an element of wanting to do something because there's a desire and an innate or like an internal passion there for you. So that's where this all kind of ties in together. Is I feel like there could be an opportunity for a big opportunity, but just check in with yourself, right? Make sure that there's some feeling of excitement or a spark or passion around whatever this is. Sometimes we do what we have to do until we can do what we really want to do. But I do get the feeling that this has the potential to be much bigger than what you've been previously doing. And it also has the very strong possibility of being in alignment. So I'm not necessarily getting that this is not going to be in alignment and that's something you're going to struggle with. I just feel like it's important to mention that pay attention to what comes in, check in with yourself, make sure it feels aligned, and then go for it. And don't let those self-defeating thought processes hold you back because you are afraid of stepping beyond your comfort zone. because that's where the greatness lies. That's where your greatest potential lies, is outside of those barriers that you've constructed for yourself. So powerful energy this first week of March. This can also be about relationships. This can be, it doesn't necessarily just have to be about purpose. So however it comes in is just remembering to come back to yourself, to make sure that there's some kind of enticement there for you, and it's not just out of the just coming out of the external. Okay, then we move into the second week of March, and this is so interesting because there's definitely this theme of like your soul wanting to say yes to something and is ready to move forward in a really big way, but there's something holding you back, and what it feels like is like you feeling not worthy, you feeling like this is too big for me, this is beyond my capabilities. So this is going to be around mindset, I think, where it's kind of like you feel the pull, you feel the sense of that desire to pursue whatever this is, and your soul is ready for you to say yes. Your soul is setting you up to succeed, but there's still that mindset in the background that's like, you're not worthy of this. Who do you think you are? This is much bigger than what you're capable of. Stay safe and comfortable in your perceived safeness, right? And so this is really asking you to step beyond those thought processes, those mindsets that, again, are keeping you small, because a lot of times it's much easier. It's not necessarily more comfortable, but it's sometimes easier to stay small as opposed to stepping out into, or stepping up into your greatest potential. That is never easy. And our soul is always pushing us outside of our comfort zone. But those are the things that bring us the greatest reward. And so again, we go back to whale spirit of trust the great mystery and understand that if this great opportunity, this big, expansive opportunity is coming in for you at this time, then trust that it's because you're ready to begin. It's because you're ready to take the first steps. And a lot of times we, something comes in for us and we immediately go to the end result. And that can feel really overwhelming. And we can really get to a place where we're just like, I can't handle this. But we're not being asked to, start and finish in the same day. We're being asked to take the first step, to recognize the potential, and then take those first steps without holding ourselves back because the end result feels too big for us. So again, if something comes in for you and you immediately go to that end result, or even if you go to, oh my gosh, the process of getting there, the how, the what, the why, it's too big, I can't handle this. Bring it back to the present. Bring it back to this moment of being asked to simply start, because you can do that. You have everything you need to be able to take the first step in whatever this is. And that's all you're being asked to do. So again, take some of that pressure off. Remember I was saying like additional responsibility and pressure during this 8 cycle? A lot of times we put that pressure on ourselves. So take that off from yourself, right? Allow yourself the space to simply start. Then we move into the third week of March. And it's interesting because what immediately comes in for some of you is this energy of like you've invested a lot of time and energy and resources into something, and it has been something that you have felt obligated to be doing, but your heart wasn't in it. And again, this can be relationships, this can be career, whatever. It can be something as simple as like you bought a car because you felt obligated to get that make and model, but you're not happy with it and you don't like it, and so you want to sell it, right? This feels very physical, so material. Or you got all the way up to almost the closing to close on a house, but then you realized it's not necessarily the neighborhood that you really want to be in, so you want to back out. So really what I'm seeing here is like something that you've invested a lot of time, energy, resources into, but it hasn't been, again, you have been sowing a seed that you don't want to harvest. And this is going to be an opportunity for you to change direction if you choose to. And so this is like the end of that energy if you choose for that to be the case, right? Like if you're in a job that you've been in for 20 years, but you hate it, you absolutely hate it. This is going to be a time where you can, end that and, take the reins within your life, take your power back and start looking for something else. But that's you taking the control. That's you saying, you know what, I'm going to put in the effort to make a change here because I'm not happy with this. But you can get stuck in the, oh gosh, I've invested 20 years in this. I have retirement here. I have great benefits, blah, 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 blah. You can go into all that and talk yourself out of it. Or you can look at, okay, I have all these material things, but I hate what I'm doing. Like I struggle to get up every morning to go to work. That's a problem, right? That's something that's interfering with your quality of life. So I do see the opportunity here for you to make a major change in that way if you choose to. If you choose not to, that's okay. But this is, again, this 8 energy is all about change in the material realm to sort of foster something healthier in your life. So again, sowing those seeds that you actually want to harvest, okay? So I do see that energy there around the 3rd week where you may get the epiphany like, why am I continuing to do this? I need to make a change. And that effort needs to come from you. Sometimes the universe will step in and, we'll get laid off or get fired or something like that if it's really not where we're meant to be and there's no more lessons to be learned in that situation. But I do feel like at this time, you're going to have an opportunity to make that decision yourself. Like if there's something, or even a relationship, if it's like, okay, I've been with this person for 20 years, but why? We're not really compatible. We're not, there's not, it's not making sense anymore. And you've tried, but it's just not fixable in a sense. And you're staying together more out of obligation, then again, this is going to be that time to really sit down with that and look, do you want to change direction at this point for a better quality of life? Or do you want to continue down a path that's unfulfilling for you? And you get the choice. There's no judgment, no shame on either choice, but it's just that energy around, okay, here's an opportunity. What do you want to do with it? Then we move into the 4th week. And it's interesting, I'm seeing this energy around some kind of a lot of support coming in for you, recognition. This is that 8 energy of recognition, praise, getting accolades for something. And there's also this energy of like owning it, like knowing like, okay, I deserve this. So I'm going to embrace this and enjoy this. I've earned it. There's also this energy of like not letting it go to your head type thing too. So for some of you, this could be big. This could be something where it's like you, publish a book and it gets a lot of rewards and recognition, and it would be easy to let that go to your head. But there's just this energy of like being grateful and gracious through this process, but also embracing it. So standing out and, standing up and standing out and really embracing that recognition from your peers. And this doesn't necessarily have to be from a lot of people. It could be from family, friends, whatever the case may be, or you recognizing yourself, again, what you're capable of, and giving yourself that needed boost and that needed validation to move forward in whatever this big change is that you want to move towards, okay? So this could very much be about you finally recognizing your worth, finally recognizing, your potential in this lifetime. And then sitting down and figuring out what you want to do with all that, or at least taking the first few steps for that. So this is really beautiful energy. For some of you, this could very literally be like a lot of praise, a lot of recognition, a lot of support coming in for you from the external. And so again, embrace it, acknowledge it, enjoy it. but just don't let it go to your head either. So yeah, I think that this is a pretty powerful month for you all. I think that there's going to be some opportunities for you to maneuver through any mindsets that are keeping you small, and recognizing that there's a great big world out there and you're a part of that and you are a contributor to that. And the question is, how do you want to contribute? And then also saying yes to those things your soul wants to say yes to, and overriding the negativity of the mind, of, the self-defeating thought processes, overriding that to say yes to the soul. Again, and just being aware of, you have a choice when it comes to what you want to show up to and how you want to participate. And it doesn't matter how much you've invested in something, you can always change directions. You might have to deal with some repercussions of that change in direction, but you always have the choice to do so. So don't get caught up if there's something you want to change directions on, but you're too tied to, well, I've done this for this amount of time, I've invested this much money and resources into this, I can't change direction now. That's your ego stepping in, trying to protect you. The reality is you can change direction at any point in time. Not saying that's going to be easy, but just saying, don't confine yourself and restrict yourself to thinking, just because I've invested all of these things into this thing that's no longer working, that doesn't mean you need to continue to invest and add continuous resources to it, right? You have the choice to say, I'm going to change direction and move on from whatever this is to create something that's more fulfilling, more in line. So powerful month for you all. I think that it's going to be transformative, but I think, again, the more you can sort of surrender and trust the great mystery of the universe as your partner in this journey, I think that's going to make it a little bit more comfortable for you, and you will end up looking back at this and loving the results. Remember, if I can leave you with anything, it's going to be, what you choose to sow during this cycle, you will ultimately reap. So make sure that those seeds that you're planting are what you want to harvest, okay? Okay, take care, everyone. Thank you so much. I'll be back again soon. Bye for now.